Hi guys, this video will focus specifically on weeks 9 through 11, and the discipline discussed in this particular unit is the discipline of psychology. And with this, you're going to write a report essay, an informational report. And again, it will be in APA format, just like what you did with the annotated bibliography in the 2 weeks before. So with the discipline in psychology, there's a link here that explains that, because APA formatting and documentation is used in the field of psychology, so that's why we're using it again. And within the field of psychology, there are several different types of writing that can be done in that particular field, but one in particular is the informational report. So this link will explain what the discipline of psychology is, and this will explain what is an APA informational report. This link provides an explanation of how some informational reports are formatted and what they include. Now make sure that you follow the specific instructions for this essay, because I think in this link it does say that, typically with a report an abstract is included. Well, there's no abstract as a part of your assignment for this particular essay, so just make sure you follow the essay instructions. All things APA. Again, I've pulled down the APA resources that I have provided in the module before. I've also listed here like the differences between MLA and APA, so you can kind of get an idea of what the differences are. And then I've also provided a couple additional videos here that talk specifically about how to cite quotes, or how to cite sources, or how to cite references, or your citations on your reference page. So I've got those videos there as well for you to view. But again, you can still use all these resources in this particular link. For your essay development, here is a sample APA informational report in the field of psychology. This was taken from a student who I was able to get permission from to use their essay. So it doesn't mean it's free of errors. It just means I wanted to provide you with a sample so that you guys could look at it and say, okay, this is how it's supposed to be formatted. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is how an informational report will play out, because you do not use first person in an informational report. So, except for most of the time I do allow students to use it in the intro or the conclusion, basically telling why you chose the topic, and then of course in the conclusion what you learned. So the body of the actual essay should not have first person in it, and this will show you that and what it should look like. And it'll also show you how sources are cited in APA format, and also within the essay, and also on the reference page. And my favorite thing ever is I love a template. So I have provided a report template that we'll look at in just a second when we look at the instructions. Please use the template. It will help you. Here are the actual assignments for this module. Here are the instructions. They're in PDF format here. You can click on it, and let's look for just a second. For this assignment, you'll write a researched APA documented paper about one of the psychology topics listed below. And I have given, a few here, 6 of them: depression, schizophrenia, emotional intelligence, phobias, PTSD, anxiety disorder. And choose from one of these. There's tons out there. You could write a report that is, general, that just discusses depression in general, or you could focus your report on a specific type of depression. Same thing with phobias. You could talk about in general what phobias are, causes, effects, treatments, who it affects, and so forth, or you could focus on a specific phobia. It's going to be left up to you how you want to generalize that, or if you want to be more specific. So that'll be completely up to you on how you do that. And remember, you're focusing on the psychological aspects of the topic that you choose, because I know a lot of these can cause physical ailments and physical problems, but really focus on the psychological aspects of these psychology topics. And okay, to report on this information, because again, you're providing information. The purpose of this essay is to just provide information. And you may find that you have more research included here than you would typically have in a paper. And that's okay for a report, because a lot of times we write about things we don't really have a lot of knowledge about, so we have to pull in research. And again, this is not a first-person essay. You should not give your own personal experience. You should not give another person's experience unless it's coming from research. All right, you're going to use sections and headings, and you can actually break your paper into the headings if you wanted to. So, and I'll show you the report template in just a second that shows you that. But you'll have a title page, and it'll be APA formatted. And if you look in the APA resources link, you'll also see a sample APA title page. And literally, you could pull it up if you wanted to, click it, and then change it to fit your title page and save it, and that'll be your title page. So you can do that as well. This explains how to format your APA title page. Also, no abstract, as I mentioned before, is required for this essay. So when you click on the link that discusses the report, it will say that usually an abstract is included. Well, there's no abstract to be included with this assignment. You'll have introduction or background of the information, of the topic, to grab the reader's attention and offer an explanation of what topic you chose, why you chose it, who or what motivated you to choose this topic, and this will be a good time to give a brief history of the topic. You can use first person in this paragraph, but not in the body of your report. And then the body of your report. When you brainstorm your topic, let's just say you're choosing phobias. When you are brainstorming, you're going to try to figure out, okay, what am I going to talk about in my essay? So what you will want to do is get a sheet of paper and just list questions that you have about that topic. You know, what are phobias? What are the different types of phobias? What are the most common phobias? How are phobias treated? Can they be cured? Do they affect a certain population of people more so than others? I mean, there's tons of questions out there that you might want to ask yourself about that topic. And then what you could do is just kind of narrow it down to maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 questions, and then turn those questions around into headings. So if your first question is, what is a phobia? Use that as your heading, and then your paragraph under it will answer that question, basically. So you'll definitely want to take the questions, turn them into your headings, and then you'll provide research for support in the paragraphs under those headings. In the body of your paper, you will use third person. Do not use second person. Don't use you or your. Don't address your reader. And then, of course, don't use first person. I, me, my, us, and so forth. And then your conclusion, this is where you can use first person again, is, you know, what did you learn about the topic? What did you learn about this type of writing in this field? What else did you learn from your research? What are the unresolved issues about the topic, if there is any? So again, you can use first person in the introduction and conclusion of this assignment, just not in the body. All right, here are your guidelines. This is an APA formatted essay. It should be at least 3 full pages, with the 4th page being your reference page. Now, if you go a page over, that's fine, but do not go more than that. You always want to try to meet the length requirement and stay within those bounds. I know for some of us it's very difficult, and we like to write. Sometimes we have a hard time stopping. Others, we have a hard time starting, but there are some that keep going and going and going. So please make sure you plan really well before you actually write the essay, so that you can keep your thoughts and keep your focus within that 3-page requirement. So at least 3 to 4 full pages. And again, if you're writing 3 pages, your 4th page should be your reference page with your sources. You have to have at least 3 sources used, and it could be a mixture of primary and secondary sources. And what I mean by that is that you can go to the databases, and like I said, I encourage you to use the databases. NC Live, Academic OneFile, and I also did not list it on here, but Opposing Viewpoints. You can type in your topic or change up the keywords. If you can't find anything just based on putting in phobias, you might want to put in arachnophobia or cure for phobia. You want to change your search terms and be patient and see what comes up. So once you find your 3 articles, those will be the 3 articles that you pull research from, and that will help to assist you and support you within your essay. So look at your essay points and see what research you can find to plug into those points. Maybe 1 piece of research per paragraph is kind of a good rule of thumb. You can have more, obviously, but avoid back-to-back pieces of research. Be sure to respond to the research that you include. Connect it to your topic. Do not end paragraphs with research. Again, always respond to it. Okay? So sources must be cited on the reference page and within your essay. So the 3 sources, I should be able to look at your paper and look at your reference page, see your 3 sources cited correctly in APA format. Use your APA cheat sheet. And then I should be able to go within your paper and find those 3 sources cited within there. And I don't mean, when I say cited, I mean there has to be a citation that tells what source is used with that particular quote. A lot of students think, well, I did cite it, whenever they just included a quote from it. That's not citing it. That's using a quote from it. You have to cite it at the end or begin the information with who said it, so I will know what source that specific quote came from. Again, go through and really study your APA resources and ask questions when you need to. But just keep in mind, if sources are not cited, or if they're not cited on both the reference page or within your essay, or if you don't use sources at all, a student will not receive credit for the essay. So it's so important that you have to make sure that you cite sources. Cite them as correctly as possible. Now, I get it. If you've never cited sources before in APA format, it's going to be, you're probably going to have some errors, and that's okay. But as long as I see a clear attempt of citing sources on that reference page and those same sources cited within your essay, you're going to be fine. But I cannot give credit if sources are not cited, if there's no attempt to cite sources in both places, because that is actually considered to be plagiarism, even if it's unintentional. So I really want to make sure you guys understand that. So please cite sources and ask questions if in doubt. And if you look back, I'm going to show you the template up here. This is the report template, and literally type in, change all the wording to fit your report, but then it should be formatted just like this. Just like this. Okay? And it gives you a sample reference page here. Obviously, you would remove this and put your own, but it gives you a sample reference page, APA, and shows you kind of what they look like. But again, you're getting your sources from the databases, and once you click on an article, in the right corner of that article, there's a cite tool. Click on it, then click on APA, then copy and paste it right here. And you're good to go. So I have posted a few articles about plagiarism. I've also put in a few about APA documentation, how to do it correctly. Please watch those videos. And if you have specific questions, let me know. Your rough draft is due on the 20th, but please be sure that you use this template to write your rough draft. Make sure you meet all requirements in the instructions, and please give your best effort on your rough draft, because this grade is averaged in with your final grade, and this means citing sources correctly. So if you have questions about this unit, please feel free to contact me. Again, that is what I'm here for. Thank you.